Oh, see, I would just say that the first and foremost is like start with the understanding of racism, white supremacy. Do you see, in a person, I mean, if you were interfacing with people in Hollywood, black people maybe are put in a position to go along and get along, otherwise they won't be selected to participate. But I would say start out with, in other words, if things need to change, then it means that, look, this is what we understand the system of racism to be. Use my definition. This is what a system of racism is. It's about white genetic survival on this particular planet. This is what we understand racism to be. This is why there is the tendency to want black men to put on dresses or to be otherwise effeminate. And we have something different in mind in terms of what we think black people ought to do. And black people need to look into and investigate, well, how is it that black people were able to start their own film companies in the early 1900s when conditions were far worse than they are today? How did the black people put together their money at that time to produce film themselves? Is this what we should be doing? I mean, if so-called Hollywood says, well, no, we want to promote racism, white supremacy, and so the images that we're going to present of black people are going to be demeaning and degrading or stereotyped. Or we want to make films about slavery. So you keep focusing backwards, looking out the rearview mirror instead of looking forward and focusing on racism as it is today. So I think that black people should be thinking about, well, how could we do our own film production, even if it's low budgeted? What we intend to do is to make images of respect. No images that are in any way demeaning, degrading the images of black people. No images of black men and black women disrespecting themselves. See, if you notice, Semites of the Jewish religion do not make any films demeaning and degrading their image. None at all. They don't allow it to take place. Because they learned that in Nazi Germany, Hitler said, the way I will destroy these people is I will make demeaning and degrading images of them. So this is what will be in the minds of the German people. So when I step to massively killing them, the German people as a whole will accept this. Now this is what black people don't understand, because we've got some of the sitcoms are demeaning and degrading images of black people, buffoon people, silly, simple-minded buffoon people. And so under white supremacy, people look at those images and say, these people don't need education. They don't need jobs. This is trash that needs to be destroyed. So black people who are interested in, maybe we should call it, instead of just entertainment, it ought to be called uplifting and educational imaging. Because the system of racism, white supremacy, if you want to make something that's going to demean the image of black people, you better believe that's going to be funded. But that would be just like making some rap music that talks about black self-respect and black self-respect and black self-respect and black. No, we don't want that. We want it. It's got to be trashy. Do you get it? We have to have trashy talk, trash sex. See, sex ought to be the area of activity that people have the highest level of respect for. Why? That means that you can get close to doing what God does, creating life. And so any culture that starts demeaning and degrading sex, those are people who are lost. See, demeaning and degrading sexual activity and breeding and studying is what was imposed on African people in slavery.